Welcome in, boys and girls. Today, we have a special episode of Losses Above Replacement. We are going to tier list the City Connect jerseys. We have a special guest, one Jack, our one-time graphic designer, one-time show producer, and now a one-time guest on the show. How's it going, Jack?
It's going fantastic. I guess one time it makes sense for the graphic design because I did your guys' logo and your Twitter stuff and maybe other things in the future too. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's good to be in front of the camera for once. And this is a bit of a throwback for us as well because we did have our old show, The Sports Desk, where we did tier lists like all the time. So this is going to be fun to do it again.
Absolutely. So today on the docket, we have a wonderful City Connect tier list. We have every team from Arizona to Washington. We have not included Toronto. Their hat has been leaked. I do not believe their jersey has been leaked. And we are not including the second Dodgers one or the Twins ones that are coming later in the season. So 26 jerseys. Every team will end up having one besides the Yankees and the A's. So let's get it started with a team that beat Jax in the playoffs.
I want to hear about this one. They just beat us yesterday too. It was bad. Yeah.
Via the shutout. The Serpentes, I like the color. I like the sand. I like that as their secondary color as opposed to the teal. So I'd give these like a solid like A to B. Like if we had like an A minus or B plus.
I'm honestly just reminded of like the Arizona Coyotes, who are no longer a team. They had sand in their color scheme for a while. I don't know. I think it works for baseball. I think I probably would put it around the A tier.
Yeah, I think it's the bottom of the A tier, top of the B tier. We can adjust as we go forward.
Yeah, we can absolutely adjust.
So moving on rather to the Braves. I just prefer the throwbacks. If you're gonna have a throwback-ish look, just stick with the throwbacks. So they canned their throwbacks. I own one of the throwbacks. It's a fine jersey, but knowing the context of they dropped probably my favorite Braves jersey for it and downgraded, I don't know. I'd go B to C.
Well, you're the Braves fan here, so I'm gonna trust your judgment. I'll put it in B for right now because
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna trust your judgment on that one.
It do be like that. Baltimore, we have the sort of the hidden. You have the sleeves and the inside of the collar. You have all the collar there, and then the rest of the jersey is black. I do like the aesthetic. And I like the history behind it, and the you can't hide you can't clip these wings. I think it's a solid jersey. I'd probably put it probably the top of the B tier.
I would probably go A tier on this one. Maybe not necessarily top, but I think this is a solid look. I really like how modernized it looks too. Like I think that's something that I don't think a lot of people loved it when it first came out, but I really like how like they kind of prove you can have a bit more of a modernized look to your jersey. You don't have to use the same like block font on everything all the time. So
yeah,
I think maybe an extra logo or two could help, but I think overall it's pretty solid. So I'll put it bottom of the A tier for me.
Yeah, it works for me. All right, Boston, we have the marathon themed jerseys. I really like these. I think these are really obviously connected to the city. Patriots Day, Boston Marathon. I think they're a good A tier, probably the best so far.
Yeah, I didn't love it at first when it first came out, but I think this is really like the definition of like they took City Connect a little bit literally there, but I think it works. I think it just works for Boston. So It is definitely weird to see a team called the Red Sox not have any red except on like the shoulder patch. But yeah, I think top of the A tier is.
This is true. All right, we have the Wrigleyville Cubs. These are okay. I think these are just kind of in the middle of the fairway, just a solid shot. You know, nothing special, not a hole in one or anything, but they're not in the water either. So I'd probably go B with these.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with you. I think they're just kind of there. Like they're not terrible, but
and it's been a while since they came out. They were one of the first couple. South Side, Chicago White Sox, S tier. These are.
Oh, you love them that much? Okay.
Yes, I love these. These are definitely in my top 3. Might be number 1. Who knows? Might be number 1.
I don't think they're your number 1. I think I know which one your number 1 is.
I don't think so either, but I might be spoiling my pick with my headwear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have them squarely in S tier.
Give them squarely an S tier. I'll throw them on S tier just for the fun of it. I would probably say like A tier. I don't really have
Okay.
like too much of a foreign opinion on these, but I think they're fine. They do their job. I think they look solid. So.
Fair. All right, we have Cincinnati, which looks horrible on the like just like that, but they like the on the tier list, but they look a little bit better in person. Their black and the red is. I like the alternate logo they have when they wear them, like on the score bug. They have the C with the lines on it. I think these are pretty good. Maybe not as good as Baltimore's in that black vein, but I'd go between A and a B.
I'm probably going to put them at B tier. I think this is also like the images that we have aren't very big, but this is also sort of like a rule of thumb that I tend to follow when I do graphics and stuff like that is like, if you're going to put like something on a jersey that like should be red, if you can see it from a distance and like, if you can't, if you're looking at it from a distance and you squint and you can't tell that there's supposed to be text there, I don't think it's that good of a look.
But yeah, but that's fair.
I think in person these probably would look a lot better. I don't think this pick quite does it justice, but I kind of agree with you. I'm going to put it B tier.
All right, Cleveland. These I didn't like when they came out, and I don't love the hat, but they've kind of grown on me. I think I like the color scheme. I like the cream white, like sand white-ish. Not quite as sandy as Arizona, but more of like a cream white, matches the Guardian statues in Cleveland.
I like the
think
CLE on the front.
Yeah, these are very clean. I know it's airport code, but very clean. I'd go either top of the B or bottom of the A's.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I'm at with these.
All right, Colorado. The two-tone jerseys are a little odd, but I get where they're going from. This is more of like a state connect jersey, I'd say, than a city connect.
Yeah.
Colorado is a state as opposed to Denver. They're fine. I think these might be the worst so far, but they're fine. They're not travesties or anything.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like they're just, I don't know. I think when people think about Colorado, they tend to think about just like the Rockies, the whole like the mountains and stuff like that. So I can see where they're going for, but like you said, it's more like a state thing. So
yeah, I think they're fine. I'd probably go C. C or bottom of the B.
I'm gonna go
sure.
B, I think is where I have them.
All right, Detroit. Thankfully, we don't have to grade the hats because the hats are garbage. Just total disaster.
Yeah.
I don't love like the image of them. When I did watch Tigers Astros, they looked pretty solid. Like I could see myself wearing that if I was a Tigers fan. Another one that I think that's right down the fairway. Just kind of Detroit played it safe, so I'd go B for Detroit.
I think it's better than Colorado's, to be honest. So I'd probably put it above that. But yeah, no, I kind of like I was picturing this and I was like, beyond this year, that's something I can see Detroit Tigers fans wearing is that jersey. I think that a Motor City thing is cool. But like you said, we're not grading the hats. If we did, it would be below D tier. That in terms of the hats.
It's bad. Oh boy. All right, Houston, we have a problem here. I get the Space City. I respect it. I don't think it. I think it's too many letters across, and I think the Motor City kind of runs into this, but at least Motor City tries to be a larger font. I think this is the worst one so far.
You think it's too many letters across, and we have a jersey that says Wrigleyville on it. So
that's true, but I will say Wrigleyville, like just as a bigger font, and you have like the I guess the hump, the like curvature of it.
That's fair.
I think makes it look a little bit nicer, but just like Space City straight across. The hats are pretty cool. They're like an inverted Detroit in a way that I don't like the jersey, but I do like the hat.
I'm gonna be S tier.
Yeah.
This jersey, to be completely, if I'm gonna put my personal feelings about the Astros aside for just a moment here, I think if it said Houston or Astros across the front, it would be fine. And like the NASA font, and they have like the mimic of the NASA font or whatever it is. I don't like the Space City. I think it's a good jersey. I would probably put it in B tier, but
or if it was staggered like the Milwaukee one we're about to do,
I
think it would look a little nicer. But just one line across, I don't really buy it. So I'd probably go C.
I'm gonna go
potentially D. Okay.
Potentially D. I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. Kansas City. These I really liked when they came out. I've kind of soured on them a little bit. I wish it was like, I wish they had the powder blues. If you had this design and just like inverted colors, I think would look real sharp. The dark blues to me don't really work quite as well for the Royals. They're fine, but I'd probably go C tier.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you there. I feel like C tier is where I would have put these anyway. I don't love the KC logo. I think it was an attempt for sure, but I think they could have done a little bit better with it.
All right, we have another bit of sand. Shout out to Hayden Christensen with the Angels. Sort of like surfer vibes. I think these are perfectly fine jerseys. It feels like something the Angels would wear like maybe 40 years ago on like Sundays, like Sunday creams or what have you. I think they're probably like between Chicago and Baltimore, in the middle of B, probably.
Yeah, they give me real throwback vibes, if you know what I mean, like that. Like a jersey that's not a true throwback, but it kind of feels like it's supposed to be. Like that's what I think of when I see this jersey. And to be honest, I didn't love it when it first came out but I think it's kind of grown on me a little bit too. So
absolutely.
I think B tier probably is where I'll put this.
All right, Brooks for me. All right, your Dodgers. I'll let you take the floor here.
Los Dodgers, ladies and gents. Okay, so when these first came out, I was a fan. I kind of liked how the team tried to get a little bit more experimental with these. I know this is probably a hot take. I was a fan of the all blue, but I can understand why some people were not. And I guess the team kind of agreed because they did end up having to change like the hat and the pants around this stuff. And I guess that they've never really like, I guess they're over it because they're going to be unveiling a new one next year. The jersey by itself, I don't think is bad. I think they have a nice little like black like splattered paint or like spray paint look on the sleeves. But other than that, they kind of just play it safe, and that's sort of the thing that doesn't really stand out. Like I think it's a solid uniform. I just think that it doesn't. The Dodgers played it really safe. Like they already have one of the best brands in baseball. They never really like just stepped out of their comfort zone, which I think, according to the leak, they're doing a little bit more of this coming year. I guess we'll see if that leak is real. I think it's better than a few of these that we've listed here, but I think I would probably put it in B tier, maybe bottom A tier too, if I'm being honest. But I think right around the middle.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think they're good jerseys. I could see the Dodgers wearing them in like any other context. So I don't know how representative they are of like, City Connect jerseys, sort of similar to Atlanta in that way, but I think they're perfectly fine jerseys.
Yeah. Well, they are wearing blue. They just finally decided to add blue jerseys to their set for the year as an alternate. So thank God they did that because the Dodgers needed a blue one. They needed something.
It does feel like that. White. How do you feel about the Dodgers wearing red?
I wouldn't do that. I think that I can understand why you're asking that. I don't think that I would ever see the Dodgers wearing red in any context.
Fair enough.
Also, that would seem traitorous because the Angels wear red. So,
yeah, understandable. All right, Miami, S tier, the Sugar Kings. This is art.
I don't know why I wasn't a huge fan of these when they first came out, but they've really grown on me. These are solid.
They're beautiful. All right, Brew Crew. I like the idea of having something different on the jersey, like Brew Crew. And I like the hat. I think it's just a weird font. I don't really vibe with it. I think it's sort of like the inverse problem of the Royals. Like if you like combined the Royals elements on the Brewers color, you'd have great jersey. I think if you had the Brewers elements on the Kansas City jersey, I think you'd get a better product. But I think this is near the bottom, right alongside Kansas City.
Yeah, these don't really stand out to me. I think I don't love the powder blue. I don't really love the font choice there. I think I agree with you there that I think it is it's I like that they tried something a little bit unique to not just put Milwaukee or Brewers on the front, but it could have been executed a little bit better.
So. Yeah, this is one that if it was the MKE, I think it might have been a touch better than having Brew Crew.
Where'd you put it?
You're right around where Kansas City is. None of these are true stinkers.
No. At least not yet.
Yeah. Unlike when we did the sports desk and we did a certain hockey retro reverse, and a certain Red Wings of mine are horrendous. So we're not going to talk about that anymore.
No, we won't.
We are not going to talk about that anymore because those were disastrous. All right, the New York Metropolitans. I really like these. I like the incorporation of purple with the purple line in New York. And I like the sort of like the vibes of the city you get with the specific gray they used.
It feels really Brooklyn Nets almost in a way.
Yeah.
Sort of what it reminds me of. But I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right. I think these are better than average. I think probably like a B.
B is what I'm thinking.
They're not like standout, but I could see the Mets wearing them as like not a permanent alternate, but like a Friday nights at home they wear them. Yeah. All right, Philadelphia. These are controversial.
What's so controversial about them? I wonder what.
I love the hat. I love the hat. The hat's like awesome, but the jersey itself, I think it's a B to a C.
It's another two-tone one that doesn't really scream like I'm reminded of the MLS team, the Philadelphia Union, when I see these. I don't think of the Philadelphia Phillies when I see them. It's like
that's fair.
It's more like just the fact that there's yellow there and a bit of a brighter blue instead of any red. Like it just doesn't really. I don't know. I think it connects with the city well, kind of like in the way that Boston does, but I don't think it works for the team.
Yeah, it's one of those that there's some cities that you can immediately recognize with the flag. I'm thinking Washington, D.C., and I'm thinking Chicago. Philadelphia is not one that I think Philadelphians really relate with the flag, I guess. But if you go around D.C., you go around Chicago, flags everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. But Philadelphia, I think they more align with their sports teams rather than the flag itself, you know?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
PGH.
These are beautiful. These are the ultimate airport code jerseys. I put them in S tier.
You put them in S tier.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I was thinking A because I get the airport code. I don't know what the H is for in the airport code. Maybe it's just Pittsburgh, but it's like squished down and they didn't do PIT or whatever.
I believe PGH is their airport code.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It does annoy me. I don't like PGH as an as their abbreviation.
That is why I'm going A tier for this.
Okay. Fair enough. I can respect that.
But I will say there's like, you can't see it in the pic. There's like a gorgeous like sleeve or shoulder pattern in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think those make it look fantastic. I just don't vibe with the PGH is all, but I think these look really, really, really good. If it just said PIT, I think they'd be S tier.
Just because I like the PGH here more than the PIT, but I would always refer to the Pirates and Steelers as PIT.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, is like some people who aren't familiar might have to like, they might not recognize right away, oh, that's an airport code. Like they might just like wonder why it says PGH instead of PIT like everything else. But that's my only flaw with it. Everything else is like, I love it. So
sure. All right. Time to talk about your fathers in the Padres.
That's a very literal definition.
Yes, exactly. San Diego. I like
toothpaste.
These. I like them. I like the different colors. I know we just had the conversation with Philly that it doesn't really like feel like the city. It feels like the city, but it's like a forced feeling like the city. And we like Baltimore's jerseys, even though Baltimore doesn't have a lot of color. But we have, I don't know. I don't want to put everything in B, but I think these are like quality B tier. They're better than like their desert camouflages, which I like kind of.
I like the camouflages better than this. I'll say that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a hot take, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't hate these either. I think I would go C tier on them though, like high C tier, just because like
I'm okay with that. I think they're okay. They're not anything special. They're fine.
I just can't vibe with like the toothpaste colors is all it is. It reminds me of like the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah. Fair enough.
A while ago. So
all right.
They're not as bad as the Giants though.
Oh boy.
Oh my lord.
See, okay, I get what they're trying to do with the fog and I like every alternate associated with this jersey. I like the hats. I like their logo on the score bugs. But if it was a gray instead of a white, you have a white jersey and then you have a gray fog, I think that would have looked a little bit nicer. I might throw these in D tier.
These are D tier. These are easily the worst on the list, in my opinion. I don't know, like, that's not even like my Giants bias talking. I will say my anti-Giants bias talking.
Yeah.
I will say I like that the Golden Gate Bridge pattern that they have on the sleeves. I think that's a nice touch. That's
sure.
about it though. The logo on the front is unreadable. You can't read half the numbers. It's like,
yeah,
come on, man. Like make I get what they're doing. I like what they're doing. I like the idea behind it, but the execution is just poor. You can't put white on white. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with you. Seattle. I know Alex loves the pants. I hate the black pants with the jersey. Just give them blue pants with a stripe. That would look great. But the jerseys themselves are A tier for me. My voice is not functioning properly, but A tier.
Splash, I'm afraid you're outnumbered on this one. I kind of like the black pants on this one too.
No!
But I think I agree with you though. The jersey is fantastic. Like, honestly, I think they nailed this one pretty much. I would be willing to go S tier. I just think like the controversy on black pants, I think, is what kind of falls out there.
Look, the jerseys themselves, I could see as an S. They'd be the bottom of my S tier. They'd be my number 5. But the black pants throw it off. I do not like the black
pants. I can't look at it and not think about the black pants. The problem is you're the same and you hate them. I like them. So
all right, we are heading to a toilet nearby. Welcome to the Lou, St. Louis. They're fine. I really like the side patch logo. That's the fleur de lis, which is on the St. Louis flag. I like that. I like the Missouri River elements they have. The Lou, I would not have called it the Lou, with all due respect to Nelly. I think these are the bottom of the A tier.
This, to me, gives me sort of the same vibe as the Dodgers. I think they didn't really, like, do too much different. Like, they have the red jersey. They replace the text on the front with a nickname, but it doesn't really, like, there are a couple other elements, like you mentioned, that are in there, but I don't really think, like, these would probably be B tier for me, to be honest. Like, they don't...
Okay.
I'll put them high B just because, like, it's a compromise. It's not just my tier list; it's both of ours.
So. Of course.
But yeah, I think that they didn't really need, like, they didn't really leave their comfort zone with these.
Yeah, that's fair. They're very safe. St. Louis, LA, Atlanta, like the sort of Cubs, even the icons of the game, I guess, didn't really stray too far from what you're thinking. Like out of the what I would say, like the popular teams, the only one that really strayed was Boston, and they just nailed it with their marathon ones. So I wish more teams had more of the iconic teams, the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Braves. I wish they'd been a little bit more outgoing. I guess Philly tried to be outgoing, and we think they kind of whiffed, but the Giants whiffed. But one team that did not whiff is the Tampa Bay Rays. Throw those bad boys in S tier.
These are gorgeous. I love the skateboarding ray on the side. Like,
yes. Everything, yes.
Yeah, these are fantastic. Chef's kiss all around. I love those.
Beautiful. All right, Texas. One thing I really like is how the TX looks like an R.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say.
You could look at it as be it an R or TX. I think these are really clean. I think they're worse than the Arizona ones, better than the Angels ones. I think these are like a reasonable high.
I don't really think these are like sand. You can't really call these sand or cream. I think more like antique white, I guess, is the term that I use, or hockey fans use. So.
Yeah, it's like the color I would use on my business cards.
I'll put them bottom A as well with them.
Yeah, that works. All right, and the Washington Nationals.
I won't even try to fight you on it.
Yeah, these are beauties. S tier. They are retiring them at the end of the season, which is an absolute travesty. But the cherry blossoms are great. They help me out a lot with the graphics because I can use pink instead of red and blue like every other team in baseball. So I like having the pink and the gray and something to differentiate between. But there we are.
That's it. Some teams knew what they were doing. Some teams, notably the Giants, did not.
Yeah, I think these are generally pretty good. We've done a lot of tier lists for other sports, other sets of uniforms. I think these are, if we were to tier list the different types of uniforms, I think these would be near the top.
Yeah, I think that the MLB sort of deciding to do, like, I guess this is like the city edition in the NBA. Like they kind of decided to do a little bit more like outgoing alternate jerseys like this. I think this is a W for the league as a whole. I do think that giving teams the opportunity to be a little bit more creative and also create things that like help fans resonate with their cities a lot more is certainly like, that idea. I loved it the moment I heard it. So I'm excited to see what teams do in the future when it comes to
I would say if I'm ranking like the sets of alternates, I'd probably go retro reverse 1 because there's so many bangers there. And there's only a couple stinkers, Red Wings. Then these would probably be 2. And then I didn't love the city editions for the NBA.
My only problem with those is that they come out with those like every year. Yeah, like I think it's literally a rule that every year you have to have a different city edition jersey.
That's fair.
I think if you gave teams a little bit more leeway in terms of like you have to change this every single year, I think it could have been a lot better. But
yeah, we would get some spicy ones. I think you'd have more like minor league baseball jerseys that are more like I'd say less focused on how many jerseys they can sell and more focused on being like pretty cool, Yeah. So exactly. That'll do it for our tier list today. Hopefully we make this into a bit of a series. Maybe we'll do logos, or we'll do home jerseys or away jerseys or regular alternate jerseys. Or we could do throwback logos. And then I can scar Jack with forward-facing Chief Wahoo.
Lord. Not looking forward to that day, but
that is one of my sleep paralysis demons is Mr. Chief Wahoo. So anyways, that'll do it for us. Make sure you drop a follow at LAR_baseball on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at Mr. Splashman19. You can follow Jack at Starblade. I'm blanking on 125.
Yeah,
okay.
That's gamer tag on Twitter for you.
Beautiful. So with that said, peace out, folks. And remember, all jerseys are good jerseys, except the Giants.